everybody? Heck Cali with King Callum Walsh, none other than the next prospect at 154. How are you? What did you think of the fights, first of all?
Yeah, I'm very good. There's always good fights here. 360 Promotions, they put on top class fights on UFC Fight Pass. Every fight is interesting, every fight is competitive, and I enjoy them. I love coming to the fights.
You've fought in this venue before, and you have a big following here. Of course, nothing compares to your following out in Ireland. How was the scene here as you were developing your career? How did you like it?
Yeah, it's cool. I like to fight here. I like to come and fight in these casinos. I'm going to fight in Chumash Casino next month. June 21st, up there in Chumash. So I like to come here. America has been very good to me. LA has been very good to me. I've made my career here, and I'm happy to keep coming back here and keep fighting here.
Let's talk about the scene that we witnessed out in New York. St. Patrick's Day weekend, headliner. This was your big coming out party. What did you think of that whole weekend and all the festivities leading up to it?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable weekend to fight as an Irish man, and to finish it in the fashion that I did, is even better, and the crowd went crazy. I enjoyed it, and it was supposed to be my toughest test, and I made it look like my easiest fight, so I was very happy with the whole weekend.
It couldn't have been any better. What went through your mind, the fact that it ended in one round, knowing that you went through a grueling camp in preparation, then it ends in less than one round, but the fashion in which you ended that, you sent a statement to a whole division, and the weekend, how meaningful that weekend was, right?
Yeah, definitely. I believe in my power. I feel like I punch very hard, and I have a lot of skills too, and it's a fight, it's only a matter of time before I hit you, and I feel like when I do, you're going to go down, and I happened to land it in the first round, but it doesn't really matter whether it was the first or the 10th. I carry my power the whole way through the fight, and yeah, like I said, I believe in my power, and if I land the right shot at the right time, anybody's going down.
You mentioned just a few seconds ago your toughest fight to date, Dean Sutherland, ended up being one, or you made it look fairly easy, meaning you and your team are already looking for those next big names to start adding them to your resume and climb up the ranks in quicker fashion than normal. Give us an idea as to how you see the division playing out right now without the need of calling anybody out, but you see how much movement there is in the division. How do you see this bearing out for you?
Yeah, I don't even know. I just fight the man that they put in front of me, and obviously, I want to keep climbing the rankings. I want to keep proving myself and fighting better and better opponents, but I'm not picky, I'm not picking and choosing and whatever. I'll fight the man they put in front of me, and I'll just keep getting the job done, and someday be a world champion.
I know you're very good friends with Dana White. What do you make of TKO Boxing and them potentially being the promotional company behind the Canelo Crawford event in September? What do you make of that whole promotion, and could we potentially see Callum Walsh leading the charge for TKO Boxing and carrying the torch there?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very good idea, what they're doing. The idea that they're bringing to boxing, I think it makes a lot of sense. There's so many belts around the place, and it'll make it a lot easier for bigger fights to happen because they won't have a choice. Fighters will have to fight, one belt per division, and whoever has that is the best fighter in the world, and if you want it, you have to fight him. There's no avoiding fights. We'll see how it plays out, but yeah, I would look forward to fighting in that. I would definitely be honoured to be the face of it and lead the charge, and I'm just waiting for the call.
How many more times can we see you? I know you have a fight coming up in June, right, with Elias Espadas, tough, gritty opponent, Mexican opponent. That should be a fun fight as well. Ireland and Mexico, every time they get together. Should you come out successful, how many more times do you think we'll see you? Because last year you had 3 fights in 24. Is it similar pattern we could expect this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think 3 is a good number. Depending on obviously how this one goes. We'll see, and if it's quick, if I come out clean, we'll get right back in and get another one and try to get 4 this year. I'll try to stay as busy as I can and keep fighting. As long as I come out clean and injury free, I have no excuses other than get back in the gym and get the next one. So yeah, hopefully 4 times, but if not, definitely 3.
You have a big Mexican-American fan base that you've been able to build here in not just LA, but throughout California. Send a message to your Hispanic fans, and in the Spanish that you've learned, I'm sure you're starting to pick up some words.
Yeah, definitely. I actually, from my last fight in New York, there was an Irish-Mexican tequila brand was the sponsor. Irlandese tequila it's apparently holy water from Ireland, and tequila from Mexico. Oh yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, it's a crazy story. Apparently the Irish fought with the Mexicans, you know, and helped them, and there's a whole story behind it, you know. But yeah, definitely, you know, I feel like I have the right style for it anyway, you know, and I think this next fight is going to be very good, you know, Ireland versus Mexico, and at the end of it, we'll all be happy.
Matt, I can't wait to see you competing for a title. That should come here in the next couple of years, hopefully, God willing. Who do you see out of all these current champions? Do you think any of them will still be standing as a champion by the time that your name gets called up on? And if so, who do you think that name would be the most likely?
Who knows? You know, anything can happen. It's boxing,
There's a lot of movement in your division.
A lot of movement. You know, a lot of good fighters too. You know, anything can happen. Anybody could be the champion. But at the end of the day, whoever is, if they have my belt, I'm coming for it.
Nice, I love it. Callum Walsh, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, brother.
For giving us this interview.
Yeah, no worries.
And best of luck on the next fight. I know it's going to be a gritty one.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.